Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this from Just the News. Citing Wikipedia's capture by the left site's co-founder launching free speech-friendly competitor. Larrysanger blasts increasingly woke Wikipedia whitewashing of socialists and communist human rights atrocities as propaganda. Well, that's definitely not news. Sorry, there's cat fur inside my nose, and you know what that happens? You end up sneezing like a goddamn motherfucker. God damn it. Alright, I think I'm done. Let's go. A co-founder of Wikipedia is launching a competing website as a free speech-friendly alternative to what he views as the increasingly monolithic left-wing bias of his former organization. Yes, that's what happens when you let the control left, the woke mob, and the useless pronoun mafia infect everything you own and everything you cherish. You think, I'm just going to do a favor, the guy is down on his luck, he's doing nothing, let him, he seems willing to do it. And then you turn around, 1 second later, you're out. Because these people are like cancer. Once it's infecting, it spreads uncontrollably, and then you turn around and you're pretty much a disease mutant little shit. Well, your creation is a disease mutant little shit. Pretty much a follower of Nurgle. That's what happens when you let these SJWs infect your work. And Mr. Larry here, yeah, it's Larry, it happened to his creation, and it's happening to a lot of our hobbies. Remember Magic the Gathering? Yes. Now it's a disease-ridden corpse. Warhammer? It's starting. Comics? Yeah, it's a complete and utter shit disaster that it is in the comics. And let's see, our movies? All gone. Tabletop? All gone. So, not much of a surprise, really. Anyway, last May, Wikipedia co-founder Larrysanger wrote an op-ed on his personal website titled Wikipedia is badly biased, claiming that Wikipedia neutrality policy, known as NPOV, or neutral point of view, is dead. Now, when school children visit the Wikipedia website to look up answers to questions about the meaning of socialism, they are going to find an explanation that completely ignores any conservative, libertarian, or critical treatment of the subject, or even history itself, because any news article, anything that goes against CNN, NBC, well, the alphabet, or anything that goes against the control-left narrative is an unreliable source, and it cannot and should not be used in Wikipedia according to these wiki editors and things like that. It's an absolute shit show, to say the least. That's not, let's see, right. Sanger told Just the News AM television program. Oh, they have a television program. That's nice. I wonder where they broadcast, so I can at least try to get it on my computer, because I live in a country where shit news is pretty much the norm. Anyway, and that's really problematic. That's not education, that's propaganda. Sanger referred to a Fox News report last week by MacLeod, which noted that the two main pages for socialism and communism span a massive 28,000 words, and yet they contain no discussion of the genocides committed by socialist and communist regimes, in which tens of millions of people were murdered and starved. Oh yes, according to the communists, that's the fault of capitalism. Or a complete lie. Or the fault of their own people, which is pretty much on par of exactly what the Holocaust deniers do. The neo-Nazis and white supremacists, well, the actual white supremacists, not the definition of white supremacists of the control left, in which they go on and say, it's their fault, it never happened, here's the evidence that never happened. Jesus Christ! They are pretty much the same shit. Yes, they are the same shit, different bag. As I like to say, Holocaust deniers, people who deny the genocide of the communists are exactly the same people. They are imbeciles. Jesus Christ, here we are again. Wikipedia socialism page claims the Soviet era saw some of the most significant technological achievements of the 20th century. Where? How? When? Not reported, but ignores a man-made famine in which the Soviet dictator Joseph fucking Stalin commandeered the food from regions like Ukraine and Kazakhstan, leaving millions to starve to death, even as the Soviet Union exported grain to foreign countries. And not only that, he took out all the people on that region and sent them to cities and other things like that, but that's bit much later than that, and that also caused famine. Don't forget about the I forgot the I forgot. It's a goddamn filthy moron or communist moron who thought that a good idea for you to when you plant a plant, you cut its some of its branches and you go on and put another tree branch onto there, and that will work in generating fruits. Not quite. The press office of Wikipedia's non-profit profit parent, Wikimedia Foundation, did not respond to a request for comment from Just the News. You won't see a comment, trust me. First launched in 2001, Wikipedia was initially truly committed to neutrality, said Sanger. For about first 5 or 10 years, recalled. You could go to articles on the most controversial topics of the day and the culture war, and you'll find all sides being fairly represented. Yes, that is true. I remember reading the comparison between Nazism and communists. And then I go now on the page, years after that, and it's completely and utterly different. At least I managed to archive it. Anyway, but about 10 years ago, he said, as liberals made, or leftists made their march through the institutions, Wikipedia became one of the most influential institutions, and the left basically took it over. But then, Sanger said, Wikipedia started getting rid of citations from conservative sources, even conservative sources that were cited in order to explain the conservative point of view. Sanger told the Just the News that his new forthcoming project called Encyclosphere, you need to make it a bit more easy on the word, like wiki on the mouth. You need to make it something easier so you can at least have the same impact and try and steal the views of Wikipedia, which I only use it when I know there's no chances of bias, and when there's a chance of bias, I only try to get the general gist and move on. Is a centralized network of words encyclopedia with what he called an old-fashioned leaderless, ownerless network like the blogosphere. Sanger said, just as there are no administrators in the blogosphere, in the same way I want to create a protocol that very loosely ties all the encyclopedias online together. In a video posted to Twitter, Sanger announced Encyclosphere, calling it a free giant global knowledge commons without any central control. Nice. Sanger said an Encyclosphere will be able to avoid an anti-free speech tilt, because freedom is built into the architecture, just as it is built into DNS, the web's basic domain name system. And again, into the blogosphere, different competing apps can restrict access to an extent, and governments can restrict access, but the network will never restrict access. And well, actually, that's a good start. Always a good start. Because censorship fucking sucks. And I live in a goddamn country in which the constitution, well, as you would call it, says, I don't have free speech. But, or as I like to call it, the constitution here in this goddamn filthy shithole is not even worth the dirty, full of shit, one-ply, dirty toilet and the ink it is printed on. It's not even worth that. In fact, like I said, a shitty toilet paper, wordplay shitty toilet paper, is still more valuable than the constitution of the goddamn filthy shithole I currently live. So, as you know, it's dangerous. Let's finish this. Let's jump on and finish this, so I don't get much of your time. Frankly, we've already had tens of thousands of dollars worth of volunteer work done by some high-power volunteers, and I'm sure that will continue. Gazillionaire offers his money. Sanger said that he is not being cancelled by his former colleagues, and that they had not tried to tamper significantly with his own Wikipedia entry. Perhaps he thinks because criticism of me would reflect badly on themselves. They treat me at this point just another person that was associated with a project long ago. Yes, I was wondering what's going to happen to him with being cancelled and things like that, because as you know, the control left loves cancel culture. There's a reason why they're called control left. Anyway, let's call it quits right now. So, thank you. No. Don't fumble the outro. So, if you want more tame content, stay right here on youtube.com/Dr. Jester. Fuck you, YouTube. And if you want more real spicy content, giggity, go ahead to minds.com/Dr. Jester for that content in which I can say fuck you, YouTube, without being censored. Albeit I can actually say that, fuck you, YouTube, right here, but there's still a chance to actually being censored, and there's a lot of shit that I cannot discuss on YouTube. But either way, go ahead there for the spicy content. Woo! And exclusive content, by the way. So, thank you for watching. Good night.